In this very short video, we are going to see various ways to visualize your panel data. So I already opened the file and started the script here. The two first commands are to clean the memory and the screen to have a clear environment. Then I'm going to load the data. So the data is in the DTA format, so I need the foreign package to load it. Then I'm going to load the file gasoline-new.dta, which we made in the previous video, and put the data in the my data frame. And we can see the data is loaded here. I actually preloaded it before the video. And everything looks nice. We have the quantity and log quantity variables that are here. Then I'm going to add two additional packages. The first one is a car package, which is for scatter plots. And gplots has a lot of different plots, but we are going only to use a few of them. So the library seems loaded. I can start with graphs. The first one is, suppose you are interested in the price, and you want to see how the price evolves over time in each of the province. So for that, the command is coplot. And then I need to tell what model I'm going to use. So I want the price over time, and the time is in the year variable. Then I'm going to add a condition, and I say I want a separate graph for each province. So I'm going to add province name, which is the name of the variable in the my data frame. Then I'm going to tell which type of graph I want. So I want to type the line type, where we have a line showing the evolution of the price. You have other types such as dots or line plus dots, etc. So the line type is called just L. And finally, I'm going to tell coplot where to find the data. So the data comes from the data frame my data. So we can see the result here. The first graph is at the bottom left and is Alberta, and then every graph is on the right, and then the next line, and the last two graphs here represent Quebec and Saskatchewan. So now suppose that instead of having many graphs, like a plot for each province, you want one graph with all the province on it. So in that case, we're going to use scatterplot from the car package. Again, we want the price over years, and conditioned on the province name. So that's very similar to the coplot model. Then I'm going to add a few options. I don't want box plot, so I'm going to say box plot equals false. False has to be in capital. I don't want a regression line or a smoothing line, so I'm going to say regline false, and smoother is false too. I just want to see the data points here. Finally, I have to tell where the data comes from. So again, data equals my data. And let's launch the command. And apparently I didn't spell smoother correctly, so you see the smoothing line here. Here we go. So we can see we have different symbols automatically chosen for each province, and we can see that they evolve more or less together, with some provinces being consistently lower than some others. Now suppose you want to see what is the average price over the year. So I'm going to use a command called plot means. And now, so I want the price over the province name, and the data comes from my data. So here, we see we have the average price for each province. So in Alberta, the average price was between 6.2 and 6.3. And over the years, the variation, 95% of the variation was between these 2 points here. Then for BC, it's lower on average, and over the years, it varies between these 2 points, etc. You can use the same plot to see how the price evolved over the years across provinces. So in that case, you use the same command, plot means. But you want the price over the year. Data equals my data again. And now we see the average price across all provinces, and the variation comes from the different provinces. So some provinces have a lower price and some provinces have a higher price in 2001. And we see that there is a clear trend in the price. It's going up over time. Finally, you might be interested in the distribution of the price. So this is a very useful plot. We're going to plot the kernel density. So it's a way to estimate the density of a variable of the price. So my data, price. And here I have an estimate of the PDF, so the probability density function of the price, all year and provinces included. We see it has 2 modes in this particular data set. That's all for visualization. In the next video, we are going to start looking at regressions.